Hello all, and welcome to week 11. We only have 4 more weeks left after this week, so, well, 3 more after this week. Let's go ahead and get started. This week you're going to start really working on paper 3. Let's go ahead and look at what you'll be doing. The first thing that you'll do is you have, on this first page, a lot of different examples of advocacy. Some of these people are advocating for education reform, some of them are advocating for treating other people differently. There's 2 videos to watch, and then there's 4 different things to read down here, so make sure you look through all of those. The next part here, this is a discussion that you'll have with the whole class. And for this part, what you'll do is you will find 3 of your sources that you're going to use in paper 3, and you will create APA citations for them, and basically an annotated bibliography. So 3 altogether, not just 1. Create a citation in APA style and evaluate the currency, relevancy, authority, accuracy, and purpose of the source. So that's all of the stuff from the CRAP test, which you can find down here if you need a reminder of how it works. So yeah, by Saturday at midnight, you'll need to find 3 sources. You can use the library tools for those. Once you do, for each one of them, write an APA citation, just like the ones you should have done in the last paper, just like the ones that I pointed out in the last video. Give a short description of the source, 1 to 2 sentences. You should be able to find that in the abstract if you're using the library tools. And then a short analysis of the source using the CRAP test, just like I said. Currency, relevancy, authority, and the other 2. So, yeah, go through each one. Make sure to do 3 of them. At least. That shouldn't be all of your sources, but that should be like some of the core sources that you're going to use. Last but not least, what you're going to do is by Wednesday, you're going to write out your introduction. You're going to take the feedback that you got from last week, write your full introduction, and include your thesis statement at the bottom. Go ahead and put your thesis in bold. So that I can see it and I can give you feedback on whether it's a good thesis or not. But basically, make sure that you're telling us what you're advocating for and why in your thesis. Should just be 1 sentence that explains that. The next thing, once you finish your intro and your thesis, you're going to outline the rest of your body paragraphs. So, if I were you, I would write the topic sentence for each of those paragraphs. Basically, the main idea for each one of those in a sentence. And then underneath those, you're going to include support that you will end up using in that paragraph. I write these a lot if a topic sentence and then all of the evidence that I'm going to use, and I call that a research outline. I don't know what other people call it, but it basically means that most of the paper is written by the time you get that part done. So, yeah, you'll have to come up with all of the different paragraphs that you're going to use. You might add a couple more later or decide that you don't want to put some in. Yeah, like one sentence for each of the paragraphs you're going to use, and then include quotes from your research, and notes on how you'll use them. Make sure that you make clear where that quote came from, or other piece of evidence that you're going to use. Is that everything for this? Okay. Alright, so by Saturday, you'll need to respond to your small group members by reading over their outlines and going through the following questions. What rhetorical strategies does the introduction employ? Is it engaging to the reader? So if you don't know which rhetorical strategies they're employing, you should probably point that out. But we covered last time which ones they wanted to employ. What's the thesis statement? Does it present a strong claim that can be supported with evidence? So if you can't figure out what their thesis is, then you should point that out. It should be extremely clear, because there should be one sentence, probably the last one in their introduction, that says, I support this because of this, this, and this. Does the outline present an effective evidence supporting the claim? What evidence is presented? Is it clear how each quote would be used to support the claim? So, yeah, you should be able to tell that pretty easily. How are they supporting their claim? What is their evidence? Does the outline flow logically from one point to the next? Does anything seem as though it is missing or out of place? If you feel like there's something that they need to add to this to make their argument stronger, then point that out. Maybe they haven't done a complete job of researching. Maybe you haven't. So it's good to learn these things. Does the writer plan to include advocacy and call to action? If so, how? If so, is it effective? Yeah, it said that up here as well. Yeah, make sure that you include this in your outline as well. As it said in previous discussions of how the assignment is supposed to work, make sure that you talk about advocacy and make sure that you have a call to action in your conclusion somewhere. Alright, guys. That's pretty much it for this week. Not a huge amount of research or learning new things, but mostly just drafting and outlining. Alright, if you have any questions, send me an email. I'll see you all in the discussions.